No nii, täna proovime siis seda Disco Elysiumit, et kuidas sellega läheb. Mäng iseenesest peaks niisugune tekstipõhiline olema, et vähem graafikat, rohkem teksti. Eestlaste tehtud. Et vaatame, mis sellest saab. Mis meil on siis mõtle ja see on sensitiivne ja psühh või? Noh, psühh me kindlasti oleme ka.
There is nothing, only warm primordial blackness. You're conscious ferments in it, no larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never, ever.
Jah, päris siuke keeruline värk, et
Never, ever, ever, baby.
päris hea hääl.
An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it.
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful, a ball of meat surrounding you. This is a terrible line of questioning, and it will only lead to more awareness of the meat thing.
Ex-love, ex-tenderness.
Ekside kohta.
It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you've suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Stay. Sail with me through the abyss of pelagic zone. Do you really?
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense yourself marinating? Poured so much on yourself. Got a bit carried away, did we, Chef?
Fear and apprehension. You should ask what's out there first.
Yeah, I don't care, I'm an idiot.
Yes, your one disco mother. There's this giant ball there. An evil apes. And the evil apes are juking it out on the ball. You're one of them. It's basically all just evil apes juking it out on a giant ball. You can't even make out it's a ball when you're joking it out. It's that large. Infinitesimally small. Vying for resources is just a stupid expression you picked up somewhere. The part of the presentation you want to take home with you is this. You have to beat the other evil apes in the face, or you lose.
Somewhere in the sore, bloated man meet around you. A sensation. Like a fly to the ointment, your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again. It wants to walk the desert.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache. A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, a clarion call from hell.
lõpuks mingit pilti ka. No, korralik pidu on käinud või? Graafik on hästi huvitav, siukene pool multikas. Siin vaatame seda pudelit või? Vaatame uue pudeli peale. Tühi. Midagi ripub siin, lips on midagi. Selle kätte ka siit saab.
This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attacked the blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now. This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a...
Shut up.
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants. It says, whirling in rags, on the aluminium key ring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it.
Seda lipsa küll siit kuidagi kätte ei saa. Krabame kõik kaasa, mis kaasa annab krabada. Äkki läheb vaja või? Huvitav, et üksi on mingi pidu pand sinna, lihtsalt joon. Kus ülejäänud on?
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside.
Veits lõhkumist peotujus.
A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent. more likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact. Something you've done before. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist. Like the green shoe that's on the hat rack in the corner, which, coincidentally, is missing its friend. Congratulations. You smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you can still find the other on the balcony outside. The door to it should be outside your room. You mean someone else took your shoe off and smashed the window with it? A cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold.
Yes, mida missioone? Otsi oma king ülesse. Need joodikupäevad. Joodiku hommikud. Vähemalt üks king on olemas. Tšekime siit vannitoa ka läbi. Äkki siin keegi verine vedeleb. Väheke haiseb. Ta siit saab välja. Ei, see on lukus. Okei, vaata mis järgmisse tuppa. Ei, see on koridori. See polegi. Vist mingi hotelli tuba. On jah. Siin on mingi tšikk. Läheks vaata. Saaks ennem kinga kätte. Oleks vähe mõistlikum. Ja näe, king ongi siin. Missioon täidetud. Missioon. Kõva. Palun järgmine missioon mulle.
Hello, officer.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips. Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. She can't be more than 28.
No. Because you're a police officer, sir.
Mingi mõistumäng käib. mõista, kes ma olen.
I'm not. Unless you've been shitting us all this time. You've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less.
3 päeva juba pidu käinud. Ei mäleta ööd ega mütsi.
Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
Ahah. Jah. Täringutega visatakse, kas läheb õnneks või ei lähe õnneks. Tundub, et praegult ei ole väga, protsent ei ole väga suur, et see õnneks läheks. Aga ma riskin.
The words have already left your mouth.
Ups. Ahah, niukse küsime. No selge.
What was that? That's not even how words are used. What did you say? Come on, say it again. No, you see, that's not what you said. You said... Come on, man. Pretty, please. One more time. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings.
Blah, blah, blah.
Something stirs in you as she's about to go. Call it an instinct, a need. The need to ask questions. It's like you said the words 1,000,000 times before. She looks back at you, a light glinting off her eyes.
Yes.
Tüüp ei mäleta üldse mitte midagi.
There was the usual ruckus. Loud disco music. I couldn't say. It's impossible to hear people speaking from over here. Oh, yes. Various artists. Ostentatious orchestration prime among them. Oh, were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course. Like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on. It would appear so. At around 2 o'clock, the disco stopped and there was a change of pace. A slow, sad song started playing, like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Some of the time, you were yelling along to it.
Juba lauli siis, aga...
That it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but you sounded like a winded boar, sir. It was hard to understand what you were singing on top of it. Yes, it was very cool. Then you started screaming and trashed the place. Yes, never. A window was smashed. A tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real destructathon. There was screaming. Then I think you passed out. There was. I think you screamed that you didn't want to be this type of animal anymore. I may have misheard, but it was sort of memorable.
Sounds like you were in some real fundamental pain there, muscle man.
No shit.
I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then, around 4 or 5. And that was it. You're in a hostel, sir. We are in Revachol. Yeah. It's 51.
no. Kuldne ajastus või? 50ndad. What century?
The current century? Centuries don't have numbers. They have names. And this is the current one.
ahah,
Civilization has existed for 8,000 years, sir. Yeah. Glad to have been of assistance.
okei. Mis nüüd siis? No siin on kalender, äkki siit saab midagi. Märts 51.
There they both are. 2 identical shoes. Both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin. Reunited on your feet.
Mis asi see nüüd siis on?
It's pretty clear a normal cop is not what you are. You may be what they call a big dick cop.
ahah,
Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
mis asi see?
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it. Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette stub, still smoldering deliciously. How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that. A carton. Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied. Then smoke them all. Good. And when you're done thinking about them, graduate too. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses.
nii, järgmine missioon või? Suitsu otsima. Kõvad missioonid, peaks mainima. See on see joodiku elu. Politseinikust joodik. No lähme otsime siis. Oota. Küsime ta käest
The
kohe.
door is closed.
Oota, läks ta siia, läks ju
There
siia.
is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on, somewhere inside. Still no answer. Still nothing. You should punch a fucking hole in it. You slam your fist into the vinyl. It does not produce a hole. Not to mention, great exercise. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside, as you hold the metal.
Vist seekord mitte. Nii, mis siin on? Mis all toimub? Päris suur. Tühjus. Siin on teagi. Kellegi aken.
You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul. Utterly. And it needs to be heard through a PA system by other people, whether they like it or not. Ram it up their ears, says your adrenaline gland. Violently express yourself. Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. You should probably go on stage and pose for a moment when you're done with this thought. See if it works. You should sing the sad small church song from that tape you found. Thought it was obvious.
Selle lindi saab kuskil peale panna ka või?
Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with your sad, tragic song. Who's laughing now? No one. You would need another copy of the tape first, though. The one upstairs is destroyed.
Veel üks missioon. Oota, kui ma võtsin selle teibi ehk lindi. Selle käest küsida saan. Äkki see on manager.
A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you approach, he gives you a sideways glance, then looks down again. A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. One of its wings broken. The man is trying to mend it. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it, most likely on a wall. A small engraved steel tag says, "The Great Skua, Ste Koari's Skua."
Aga kuidas ma karaoke kohta küsin?
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead.
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This seems like a touchy subject.
I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3. Sylvie tends the bar here, not me. I'm only standing in.
Oota, keda ta vaatas seda? Või mida? Oli siin keegi veel või? siin on, kes see on? Mingi kahtlane tüüp. Vaataks need kõrvalasjad kõigepealt ära siin, mis siin on. Oot, kus sa lähed? Mis see? Mis täna menüüs on? Midagi pole. See on ju nii tore. Ärgata hommikul pohmakaga ja süüa ka ei saa. Keegi oskab. Siin on tüüp, ma ei näinudki.
A colourful piece of plastic is dangling from his carabiner. Makes your fingers itch. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine.
Wake him up.
The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
Koos. Kuidas ma neid manustan? Ma vist manustas.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. A young, able-bodied man stares back at you from the photo. Santiago S. John.
Kas pätsame ta ID-kaardi või? Äkki läheb vaja kuskil. Šansid on suured. Proovime.
Your fingers find their way into the shackle, flicking open its spring-loaded gate. The metal loop holds the plastic ID and a leather-bound pocketbook. The man emits a loud snore. Is he about to wake up? Doesn't look like it, but you never know. Better be quick. You slip the plastic ID card out of the loop and pocket it. The man continues to snore. You find a black paper note with a woman's profile on it. Seems like this woman lived centuries ago. The note says 5 real. It feels nice and greasy. The sleeping dock worker has little to say about your actions. He remains silent.
No ei hakka teda üles küll ajama. Las ta tuidub natuke. Mis veel, oota, okei, vaatame, mis see tüüp. Keegi oli siin ratastoolis ka veel. No kus sa lähed? Joosta saab ka. What do you know?
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. As you approach, he narrows his eyes and extends his hand in greeting. On the sleeve of his bomber jacket, as well as on its back, are the same enigmatic white rectangles as on your blazer.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he's waiting for your name.
It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here? If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? At the 57th, we like to prepare an initial list of persons of interest, and then just skim the surface. Prepare the field, get to know the players. You don't do that? Maybe it's not an inter-district practice. Right. And the interviews? Okay, we'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree?
mis asja, kuskil on veel laip ka.
Mm-hmm. Does that mean the body is no longer in the tree? Sure. But did you take it down from the tree?
no mis me teeme. Ei mäleta küll, et oleks mingit laipa vedanud.
So, the body is still in the tree.
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice. It is obvious he would have preferred for the body to no longer be in the tree.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner.
What a shame. Get to it now. Rip that body down from the tree.
After it's been up in a tree for that long, any kind of whipping is inadvisable.
Delicate goods, filled with stinking horrors.
mingi ninatart tüüp.
After you, officer.
If you're about to embark on an investigation, shouldn't you have a badge?
You mean you don't have a badge?
Hehehe.
Oh, if you didn't have your badge, then that would be very bad. You would need to report it on my shortwave. But since you do have it, we can go straight to the task at hand.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by interacting with him.
selge. ja vaatame, mis see tahab siis. intervjueerime.
The man with the unimpressive beard.
Mr. Gart, right? You run this place.
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41...
Fantastic.
Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was you who placed the call, yes?
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only temporarily taking over her duties.
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Nüüd hakkavad juba vähe missiooni moodi asjad.
This sounds like something you can
Mõrva
use
uurimine.
to call this Sylvie later.
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many, many cafeterias I manage.
But you still know your way around, yes? In case we need...
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to start working here again, if that's what you think.
I didn't imply that. Detective. I have everything. You?
Yes, yes, he means, do you have questions for me, like a police officer would? I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police. That's your job. What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him.
Suddenly you tense up. Blood is being pushed to your muscles. You should hound him on this. Hound him hard. The prey drive says.
No, I didn't. I didn't. I don't appreciate this. What is this? Do I have to answer him? Is this mandatory?
The lieutenant stands motionless, his expression unreadable.
What are you, an idiot? I told you I haven't killed anyone.
He ignores you. More. Press on. Push through.
Fuck you, man.
That's enough.
Thank you ever so much. Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there. That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. You can get to the courtyard through there. No need for the keys. The hole is big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry to fit through. She went away because none of your business. Extra fine.
Let's go.
Jee, üks missioon tehtud. Missioon. Ma ei tea, võiks mingi. Nii. Suitsu pole ikka leidnud.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real. Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe to assume he means you owe him some money.
No, you don't owe me street cred. You owe me money. You owe this establishment 130 real.
Keeraks vinti juurde ja saadaks pikalt äkki.
Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you... Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually, more, but we'll wrap... What are you, a philosopher? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room, or 8 bottles of potent blend, and 9 packs of Royal Extra. We use it for everything, really.
There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant Kitsuragi looks for something in the pockets of his orange bomber.
I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't let him stay here any longer if he doesn't. If he doesn't have the money by tonight, then...
Officer, maybe you're better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away. Officer, you really need to take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car. Call them, ask for assistance. We have to get this investigation started now.
Good luck.
Lõpuks ometi.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to be somewhere. You don't really know, do you? South, maybe. Doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe a street or an apartment will appear.
Mis see nüüd siis on see mängu või? Mis asja, Kings. Okei.
Yes?
Kuidas me saame talle helistada siis? Ei ole ju kuida. Läheks vaataks seda laipa, saab vaadata. Siit ju sai kuidagi välja ka. Näiteks siit. Mis? See on talv või see aed. Oota, kuidas me siis siit välja saame? Siin oli vist see. Välja pääs hoopis. Jah. Pudeli korjamise eest saab siin raha ka veel.
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Rivershore. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting.
Siuke melanhoolne graafika päris mõnus, huvitav. Pole ennem niisugust näinud.
Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hair.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with? We don't see a lot of police around here, that's all. Of course. What can I help you with? Me? I am just...
She hides it well. But behind the sweat and dirt there is something else in her rigid posture.
I'm working. I have a greenhouse in the yard there. I've been trying to get some work. Well...
Don't worry, miss. We are here to clean it up. You can get to work.
Salts? Ammonium salts? Perhaps useful for later.
Of course. Where to? It's there. In the yard, right through the hole in the fence.
Even all the way over here, there's a drop of death in the spring air.
No problem.
She's very welcome.
Of course.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those gloves for the autopsy.
Need küsimused ja tekst edasi minema vahel närvi. Tahaks liikuda edasi, aga ikka tuleb mingi küsimused juurde.
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
Really? None.
Mul tunne, et see mäng ajab varsti mind närvi. Yes. Kus see värav aed auguga on. Muusika läks kuidagi väga kõva. Music volüümi võtame maha. Ma ei saa aru. Niimoodi ka. Ma ei saa aru nüüd. Siit peab tegelikult tulema. Kus see aed on? Mind ei huvita praegu muud asjad. Siin. Ja see on mingi tehas. Siin on mingi aed. Aiast ja aiaaugust nad sonisid. Polegi kuskil. Kus see laip on ikkagi. Vaatame, tülitame seda papit siin. Vaata siin, mis siin.
Live? I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish my sentence.
Ära jutust. Siin. Okei. Siin on vaja see au. Selge.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. Cop habit. You look at everything. Hard to say. Your vision is blurred and you're having difficulty concentrating thanks to your relentless hangover.
lapsed mängivad laibaga. See mängib siin ja lihtsalt üks tüüp ripub. Jaa.
Kuno's got this.
Oh yeah, nappa comfy, Kuno. Right in the dick, Kuno. Get him right in the dick.
Love it in the dick.
The boy is sweating profusely. His eyes are like two black holes and his jaw is twitching as if trying to break free from the empire of his body.
Fuck that, Kuno. Yeah, right in the mouthhole.
Shits himself.
The rake, Kuno. You should throw the rake at him, Kuno.
The fuck does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's...
Goddamn right he's not a gardener. He's an athlete. Every rock connects, making the battered corpse look just a little bit worse for wear.
Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got.
The kid moves his hands like a basketball player dribbling fast.
Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. What do you want with it? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno's Kuno, pig.
Kuno. Primal. Violent.
Yeah, think about it. Think about that rabid Kuno shit.
Watch out, Kuno. He's trying to fiddle you. He's gonna put his hands on you. Help! Pig's got Kuno. Help! Ray!
Help! He's got the Kuno, help!
Everyone can hear. You need to get the hell out of here before.
Help! He's digging his dick out!
Escalate, Kuno. His dick is out. You're afraid.
Pigs in aim, Kuno!
Väikse tüübikud.
Somebody, please!
Look at his shit-eating grin. He knows there's nothing you can do to him. He's bullying you, and you are helpless. Kill him. Kill him now. He won't see death coming.
Look. I know you wanted to hit me. You got that I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up look that Kuno's dad gets. The murder look. The rage look. I can. Kuno can smell that violent shit. I know what you were thinking. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna shut his shit down. You know what? You should have hit the Kuno, because now you're nothing. You're a joke to Kuno. Kuno laughs at you. King Kuno!
Ma ei saanud ikka aru, kes see Kuna on.
Kuno turned you into his prison, bitch. You're gonna be in this shit with Kuno.
No, you're not. We can just leave.
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever.
Okay, Kuno is kind to his bitch. Ask your questions, but remember, this changes shit.
Click, 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 click.
Kuno doesn't fucking
See
care.
ei vii mitte kuhugi siin.
corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth. You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in, even through your clenched nostrils.
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! Cock's gonna blow, Kuno!
Mida me tegema üldse pidime? Sinka. Aga ma ju vaatasin seda ohvrilaipa siin ja veel midagi tegema.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth.
Väike rops või?
Too late. It's impossible to keep in until a pool of vomit lies under your feet. The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it, distilled spirit and bits of shish kebab.
Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used sauce for the smell. If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fridge store nearby.
Okei, see missioon täienes.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
Okei, noh, järelikult. Vaatame selle aedniku juurde uuesti, et mis siin on.
Hello again, officer. How are things? Sure, I'm done with them. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache. Excuse me? Oh, well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here. Okay.
nii , tõmbame nüüd selle sisse või ? kuidas ? nii , laiba juurde tagasi . saame paremini teda uurida , kui ei jää öökima ja . nii .
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
no proovime uuesti , nüüd on mul see ammoonia .
You crack open the ammonia
No,
ampoule
õnnestus.
and breathe in. The odor of death is still stronger. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your eyes squinting, you stand in it. The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enamel boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
et korraks käin ära , kohe tagasi . nii . vaatame nüüd seda laipa edasi siin rõõmsalt .
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covered, delicate and fragile. They feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow.
They are armor, no boots. Technically speaking, these are sabatons. Ceramic plate, zirconium dioxide most likely. This is where the make would be. Under the heel, fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup. Suddenly your biceps coil up. Your elbow is sharp and cocked for a punch. Your fist connects to the boot with the same ding. The sound does not appear to get louder. The only difference is a barely audible click underneath. Sounds like the end of a long dice roll.
Did you hear that? A click? This is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads the incoming energy horizontally, from plate to plate. When the plates connect, there's a click. That's the sound you heard. See these lines?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether.
The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information. Maybe he'll know something.
uus missioon jälle, ülejäänud armor üles otsida.
If you wear those pieces, it will help me protect your mortal coil.
No, he must have worn something precious underneath his clothes. They've removed all his clothes to get to it. They did not just strip him for the putrid rags. They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the besmirties and the like. This one...
Fucking talking about underpants.
Kuna ongi siis see tüüp. Rääkis ennast nagu teises isiksuses.
It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics. For a full set, about 4 years of wages. By catching, do you mean, let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them? Of course.
The lieutenant nods often. It's part of his unplastic expression range, communicating both professionalism and sarcasm. This time, the latter.
That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company, but that's just hearsay. I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
The stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes from above.
Stop! Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
Even the mongrels can see you're about to pull his head off.
Do it, homo!
Yes, that's what I say. You'll compromise the coroner's case if you do. So please, don't. What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot?
Missioon siin. See, ma ei vaadanud seda. Kuulad siin tülitama jälle.
Maybe we should concentrate on what's outside the boot and leave what's inside to the boys at processing? Just this once. Besides, there's no way you're getting them off.
You're sure there's a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down, and second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around. The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice. Nice and cracky.
surnud mehe jala nagu ära varastama. Yes.
Processing will take care of that. With the situation in the morgue,
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt. His torso, the hangman's knot, is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse. Oh my, there's something on the belt. A familiar word that speaks to the thirst within you. Vermilion, in yellow letters, along the length of the twisting cargo belt. Only a deep longing for vermilion golden spirits lets you decipher the fading logo of the local brewery.
No, you should not get a drink. You should perform an initial inspection of the victim's corpse. We are on the raw part. Industrial strength. A can used for tying cargo to lorries. Yes, it looks like they use whatever was on hand, paying no attention to not incriminating themselves. A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt. Buckle closes. It's what I would do. Seems easier than climbing out there. The brief suggested as much, politically motivated by the ongoing strike. Did you not get a briefing? Then you should ask me the first moment we get. It's not merely polyester, it's steel reinforced. See these lines? This is where the wires run. I see rabbits for more than 20 strands. This makes getting him down much more problematic than I had assumed.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
Of no nation that I know of. If anything, It reminds me of religious illumination, last or penultimate century.
The pattern does not stir patriotic or religious sentiment in you. What it does is speak to the wounded, limping animal, the male in particular, unable to communicate in anything more than grunts. It's impossible to tell if its advice is right or wrong.
So am I.
He wears a wide leather belt around his waist and a gun holster under his arm. He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears, some sort of camera.
A True Sunshine, Mini.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it. Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
There is only one ampoule left.
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around. Sure. Just don't lose it.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his...
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Inventory on see siin. Ei saa minna praegu. Okei.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their socket. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess. The corpse is dead silent. You have no idea why you just said that.
Jah, just.
Who is he? He is male, 4250, with an athletic build.
The corpse looks right through you as you distance yourself from its stench, eyes like a shark. As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blur. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
How should I know why you are squinting, officer?
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he's saying? Oh,
Talking about shit.
Maybe. I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
Sest teine on tüdruk hoopis või?
I agree. Totally dead. Absolutely. I think he was upright immediately after death. Blood has gathered in his hands and feet, and his neck. The noose acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis here is in tune with the hanging. That's what I think. There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils.
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's down.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt. His torso covered in tattoos, and...
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting it.
Mingi uue skilli selle või? Mis asi see on? Hand-eye coordination. Skill panest level up. Mul siin muid ka olid või? Teisi vist ei saa. Ups, sai ikka. Nüüd ma panin küll suvaliselt, ei lugenud, mis asi see. Noh, oletame, et on midagi. Tagasi saab ka võtta selle. Okei. Mida veel läheks vaja? Ei viitsi küll kõiki neid läbi lugeda. Jätame selle ees ikka. Äkki tulistaks ta alla. Päris hea.
Climb up there and saw the branch? I don't trust that ladder. The assailants didn't use it. It's rotten and less sturdy than it looks. And I don't... Honestly, I prefer a non-acrobatic solution to this. There has to be a less risky way. with less falling down of trees.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How? It absolutely will not, officer. That's not how physics work. It will maybe cut one thread loose.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
I'll blow his head off.
Take it! Take the shot!
Yeah, take the shot. Kuno wants some of that shit.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm.
No.
He drops a paper
Like a
cartridge in the
pill, huh?
barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. Securing it in place. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The trigger voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the
God damn it.
A lot of things were wrong with that shot. The fellow's test was the wrong choice. His shoulders were raised, but above all, he cannot trust his eyesight.
Fucking idiot! Mookaba asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
Remain collegial, officer. It was an honest mistake, and I will not repeat it. No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do it. I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
You know, you don't feel like too bad of a shot yourself.
Someone else? You mean like the police? Someone like a paid garbage man? Or a cleaning crew? I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others we are not getting him down already. Not getting him down is a task that's already accomplished. Sadly, it's not our job to keep him up there.
Just pull his rotten head off.
It's tempting, but decapitating him will make it impossible to ascertain whether he was really hung. The damage to the neck would make coronary work pointless. It's bad as it is, us shooting firearms like punks here.
They only have one gun!
Oops.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Kerge mark.
Officer, why do we only have one gun? Extremely unfortunate. You need to contact your station about it as soon as possible. Try not to lose this one, please.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana poika! Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth!
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth!
Kuno is silent. Aggression gathers in the air. The trigger feels delicate and ready to break under you. The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
see ehk päris hea.
Your field of view narrows.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now? Fucking do it! Set me free!
Don't.
Do it!
Intense shit, copper.
Could waved his gun! It wasn't intense, it was pathetic!
pagan, protsent langes.
The buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir. With your hand numb from the recoil, you looking straight at you, helpless, trapped within itself.
Communism.
It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from, only that it's right. Then the rigor in his muscles gives up, and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench.
Yes. Skill'e juurde. Mis see on? Keep your morale up. Reaction speed. Võib-olla seda läheb väga kõigest. No paneme selle. Siin on neid leveleid nii palju. Ei ole vähimatki aimu, milleks mul neid skill'e vaja läheb üldse. Ja mis oleks vajalikud.
By being a damn good shot. Ace is high.
The lieutenant takes a little hop to perform the customary salutation. Your palm hurts from the slap. It's precise and down to the point.
I knew these guys were
Officer, let's keep our attention on the victim. We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death. But before...
Kogu mäng vist ongi laiba ümber siin samas. Ei saagi siit minema.
Slumped on the ground like that has not improved the way the corpse smells. The fall seems to have released something deep inside it.
It looks like I feel like taking a break from the stench. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. Just a little breather before we do the autopsy. Yes, the 4 phases of a murder scene. 1. Investigation of the scene. I can't say I'm satisfied with that part yet. We should search for prints, maybe. And the trash container too. 2. Initial examination of the victim. We were pretty good in our efforts, and the autopsy will provide another chance. 3. Field autopsy. This will not be played.
the fuck are they on about?
Cops are gonna cut his shit up next.
4 and final, transport of the coroner's case to the district morgue. I'll do that. God, it stinks. No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain. From crime scene to autopsy to cleanup, we do it all. An honor and a burden attached to your rank. Mine is Lieutenant Detective, unfortunately. I can't tell you how tired I am of this corpse.
He is growing truly tired of it. It's not merely moodiness. His tolerance limit is near.
With shooting like that? Of course you are. Your station would not have assigned you to this case otherwise. In the meantime, we should try to interview Evrard Clare, the leader of the Union. Harbor property was clearly used in the hanging. The harbor just east of here. Getting in might prove a challenge, though. Or we could ask around for the representative of the logistics company. My initial information says the Wild Pines have sent some sort of strike negotiator to wrangle control back from Evrard.
You could ask the garden for directions.
vist siin ei ole mõtet täna selle laiba juures olla. Kui seda autopsiaid saaks teha siin kohe praegult. Aga liigume natuke ringi, tegelikult võiks seda kunat natuke kiusata.
So you tried to kill Kuno's girl? What's up with that? You want to talk about it?
Not all of us. Acts like that stick with you for a while.
No one's moving anywhere. Do this shit again, and Kuno's gonna climb in your room at night with a knife. Kuno knows where you sleep. The pig who fucked his window up. I'm gonna climb in through that balcony, put the fucking knife in you. Yeah.
I've been in your room.
But you and Kuno are good for now, pals.
The determination in his voice leaves little room for doubt in his sincerity.
One word out of you, pig shite, and you're locked out of the Kuno experience forever. You hear me?
You hear the Kuno?
And you're back in business with the Kuno. Now what is it? Shitload, pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno.
This is where you quickly ask him questions. Real cop questions. Like a cop.
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. Kuno's fuck-gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant. Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno...
Oh, come on. He's just pretending that he doesn't care because he's too small for the armor.
Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gates. Yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit? Came around pretending like he cares about cows? So yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor. Go to the gate, ask him yourself. just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty fucking suspicious to Kuno.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty Kuno.
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing? This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here.
You hear the lieutenant hum.
Kuno's fucking. Kuno uses the fucking for target practice.
He could have just said he doesn't know.
Kuno knows shit. Kuno's not a snitch. That's all. Trying to make Kuno sing into the popo phone. Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down. You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional. I don't know. Some fucking Mesco, or I don't know, some other place. Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City. Kuno gives this info out on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Kuno didn't smoke the gimp, if that's what you meant. You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Get lost.
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it? Dunno. Kiptas gardener used to work there. Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit. No, it's not fucking Kuno's. It's ancient. Look at...
He thinks you're fucking fool, Kuno. He says you climb the ladder up to your magic treehouse.
Get the fuck out of here, pig. Kuno doesn't have a magic treehouse. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Korralik sõnavara. Nii. Oota. See aetnik. See midagi. Mis see oli? Tatuudest. Okei. Interact. Ja siit saab pudeleid prügikastisse pudeleid korjata, aga mul ei ole kilekotti. Siis saaks need rahaks vahetada. Siin on ka mingi potikutega tädi või?
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. I know, sir. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register. Or feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signaling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Oh no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm.
aga kuidas ma näiteks temale neid tatuusid näitan, võib-olla lapsele võib-olla ei ole vaja näidata seda pilti tatuudega. Ütlete seda aednikule, see on aednik. Räägime temaga.
It's raining again. It was clear just an hour ago. Down? Do you mean the body is finally gone? Oh, right. Can you tell me when you've taken him away then?
Oot. Siin ma ei saa. Kuidas ma seda... Mine ära eest. Kuidas ma seda pilti saan talle näidata? Või see ei käi niimoodi. Mis see mõte? Interact. Ma saan seda kuidagi endale kätte panna.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hanged man. The pattern still kind of has an ethnic feel to it, but nothing familiar. For you to discover, you've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Gone.
Üks missioon oli ju, et küsi the victim, you ask around those possible. Õigete inimeste juures tuleb see küsimus valikusse. Siin oli neid inimesi päris palju.
Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork is covered in blue. Vapor emanates from the large engine on the back of the vehicle. It hasn't had time to cool off yet. This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. A scent of leatherwork and heavy fuel oils washes over you.
This is the Coupe Cinema, my motor carriage. You can use the toolbox and the radio if you'd like.
Sa oled selle tüübi autos või?
No, I'm afraid not. We have a murder case on our hands, remember?
Shut up.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Siin on mingi tüüp. Küsime selle käest.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler. the jam, my man?
The air from the east is...
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Arbor gates up the street are shut tight. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout. Yeah, imagine. So tell me, what do you need?
ahah, suitsu küsin. Jah, suitsetab muidugi.
Nope, don't smoke.
Don't smoke. Siuksed ülbed vennad, ise suitsetab.
Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse.
Yup, nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add. You'll have to ask around elsewhere.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's. Revachol's weird. He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy. Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries. And there's a sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees. Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that. Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
There's no denying it. Your body needs to feel the touch of some good performance wear.
Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road. This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery? Yeah, it must be. Your job's to know all these little things, isn't it?
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Don't be a stranger.
See ei olnud midagi. Targemaks justkui ei saanud. Siin on mingi mees. Mis see siin passib?
Good morning to you, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His posture is relaxed. Despite his powerful build and a knife in his hand, this man resorts to physical intimidation only infrequently.
My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating his salami.
From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and grey overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage on the waterlock and the salami.
Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer? I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revachol. Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Sure thing.
It is salty. It is savory. It is chewy. The hang...
Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
Seivida ei saa siin. Nüüd äkki saab. Salvestame siin ära praegult ja vaatab tänaseks selle mänguga aitab, et võib-olla mingi teinekord proovib seda veel, ma ei tea. Võib-olla videos mängin seda edasi, mitte laivis. Ja siis panen huvitavamad kohad kokku, et see on niisugune jube aeglane mäng. Et võib muidu magama jääda. Aga seniks, tšau!